So level 1 tag, which is where you're at now, my intention is to absolutely give you some really solid foundations, some solid understanding of the laws we work with, the concepts we work with, the process we use, so that you will, by the end of this 3 months, you will have practiced not only processes, but a mode of doing a basic one tag healing session, so that you can activate that on yourself. You can begin practicing it with friends and family, because in whatever way, I think it was Arlie that said, I want this applied. I want you to be able to apply this in some way. And and so that's what this level, it will give you that basic, powerful, really powerful things that we do in a tag level 1 basic session. Also, because I'm teaching this class at 2 different times each week, you can attend either one, both if you wanted to, but you can attend either one. The Monday class at 10 o'clock Pacific time, the Wednesday class, 5 o'clock Pacific time. The material will be the same each week. Whatever teaching Monday will be taught Wednesday. So if there's a week that you can't make it during your time, but you could make it at the other time, the classes are interchangeable, and then can flow back and forth between the groups. So for you to know that. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go into a little bit more of, hey, we are claiming space in a different way. We've done it as we've set the circle. Every week, if you want to have a candle lit, that's what I'm going to do now, to again hold that energy of what it is we're doing and calling in the energy in whatever way you want. Candles are really great for that, of course. Arlie, I saw you spraying. Do you want to talk about what that's all about? But you're muted.
This is an alchemical spray made by one of the women that I met in Sharon's classes, Susan Mavity. And this particular one is radiant. I actually have several of them. I spray them around and find them very efficacious for changing the atmosphere and the environment to the one that I want. There's radiance, there's guidance, there's grandmother wisdom, children's light. They work, what can I tell you? So I'm assuming they're working on an auric level, Sharon?
These are sprays that Susan and I put together. She took the glyphs that for specific reality statements. So she took the glyphs, and then she sat with her gemstone knowledge and said who it will pull these together. It's the way I sense them. It's almost like bringing in not only a different field, but a person. I mean, a group. It's like, oh, I love grandmother wisdom. That one is probably my favorite. So she does it all through alchemy, using the symbols that I call the galactic glyphs, the numbers, and then the gemstones that want to play and create, and herbs. Yeah. So essential oils, specific stones. What I'm going to suggest you do is look for something that calls to you from nature, because we're not sitting together out in the woods. What in nature might call to you? So, for example, there's a couple of stones that want to play with me through this course, and one is a jade stone that is purposeful, but it just said, I'm going to be part of this journey. What's going to be your stone, or pine cone, or seashell, or bark, or whatever, or a bottle of water, whatever. This is a fossil. It's a trilobite, and it's the first vision eyed that we know of. So this is, for me, always represents vision. So
Clarification.
Yeah,
on the sprays, I seem to feel them more on an auric level. You're saying that it's more than that and is actually heavier and is more on an etheric level. And also, I forgot that you worked on these. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I don't know what level they are on, and they may call in the, they call in energies. It's not like the smell alone. It's an etheric, it's an energy, and so that's why I call it's an intelligence, a presence.
Oh, intelligence. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
yeah. So it's different than where essential oils do one thing too. They do, it's like multifaceted, integrated. What other things do we have that will, what do you have that will create a space? And it might be like, I'm going to take my candle, I'm going to take my trilobite and my jade. It's right here by me now for because I'm teaching the class, but it's going to be on a special altar so that that's where it will hold the energy throughout this course. Like you know, if I wanted to, I could create that altar out and I would sit by the altar in nature, whatever you want to do to connect to the energy beyond what I'm speaking, beyond what you guys are bringing to it, that we are bringing in wisdom from way beyond what we've even known before. And those are kind of way we can symbolize and call those vibrations to us. The most important person in this course is you. The most important person in this life is you. The most powerful place to be if you want to do healing work, empowerment work, coaching work, uplifting work, inspiring work, is to be in a physical bodysuit. Because it's in this physical bodysuit that the authority resides to make a declaration to change our entire field, body, mind, emotion, etheric, galactic, and beyond. So you are the point of power. So what I'm going to do is share screen, and I want you to take, I'm hoping you all have a journal or a notebook. And I'm going to give you about 5 minutes with this little exercise. And let's see, just a minute. I have to make it more visible so I can share it. You can draw this. Not sure that's right. You can draw this yourself right onto your notebook, okay? I think this is good. Because it's just a circle in a circle. But what I want you to do is, this is you. This is a presence. You are a presence. You are a pillar. Always. And you are broadcasting always. And if you're in fear, you're broadcasting fear. If you're in clarity, you're broadcasting clarity. You could use colors. You're either muddy green or you're clear green. You're muddy yellow or you're clear yellow. This is your presence. What is it that you are choosing, you want, you intend that others feel from you because of your presence? What are the qualities? What are the values that you want to say, I am these values. I am a pillar of these values. And I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. That should be plenty of time to write down in your journal, I am a presence of, and then list the values. I think we'll do 4 minutes. I think 5 minutes is too long, but so I'll leave this up and we'll be back at about 2 after the hour. Okay. You're getting ready to come back together. So in the chat, I want you to just type one or two of your qualities. What are you a presence of? Just one or two. Put that in the chat. Audrey, you want to read those for us, please?
I am a presence of harmony, peace, and joy, faith and victory, resilience and hope, integrity, wisdom, perseverance, and compassion.
Now, you all probably know reality statements begin a journey. That is a way we can claim a choice of we can have that choice designed with our teams, anchored. We won't go into the details of that because we're going to use the reality statements. You're going to use them as your assignment. You're going to claim, I'm a presence of, and put it through the reality shift work. And you're going to also, my guides, my spiritual guides and teachers have the qualities of those same. So you're going to do two reality statements, one claiming the qualities and values you are committed to. And because you're committed to those values, you're calling in, and these are the kind of guides you will listen to that have the same qualities. So you're going to do reality statements, putting through the reality shift work for these qualities. Those inner claims, the stronger they get, and we'll what makes them stronger, we'll be talking about that, will create automatic boundaries around you. So you don't have to keep guarding your boundaries. If your boundaries get invaded, you go back to, I am a presence of, this is my community that has the values of, my spiritual teachers have the values of. You keep claiming that inner pillar that broadcasts out. And that's what creates the boundaries, so that you're not always putting out fires. Your question to yourself is, how committed am I to strengthening and maintaining that presence? How committed am I? And I'm going to just ask that question. I want you to just be quiet and say, on a scale of 1 to 10, let yourself hear. How committed am I in that whole energy field to holding that presence? And just be quiet. 1 to 10. 10 highest, 1 lowest. What's your level of commitment? Write it down. It's really important to know if you have waveries in your field that would keep you off balance. And to not let yourself know that leaves you thinking everything's well, and then you wonder why you're knocked off your feet. I'm going to put this in. We've seen it before, but because, here's the energy that we live within: body, mind, emotion, spirit. And within that biofield, the entire biofield of you, this is a very simple picture of what's there. You have knots that would stop you. You have gifts and ideas that would expand you. And we have all of these interlopers, the domination type energies and concepts are there. So when you're making this choice that I am a presence of anything in this field that is unlike it, and all of these outsider energies certainly are unlike it, will pop awake and start screaming at you and start pulling you back. The outsiders will. Your own patterns will also start screaming and say, wait a minute, you told me to keep you small. Wait a minute, you told me to let you hide. Wait a minute. So as soon as you claim something new and something glorious, you're going to have triggers happen. How committed are you to acting quickly, applying your tools to get to clear that field and get your back into that good mind of your choice? So that's going to be your challenge this week, is to do the reality statements and watch what triggers, and in what triggers quickly go like deep six. That's all you need to say this week. Deep six. I don't know what that is, where it's coming from. Deep six. Because to step into a shaman lifestyle, it doesn't mean you're going to work with others even, but that shaman lifestyle, that radical mystic lifestyle, requires your integrity to something. And what is that something? Your presence. It requires that you have a presence that you are claiming and that you are having integrity to. And when you find yourself knocked off balance, you bring yourself back. Because this is a very, very sacred path. Your life is a very sacred life. The other thing I'm going to show you before we close is this. You know, there's a lot of ways to clear space. I don't do personal sessions here at my home right now. I haven't at all through COVID, of course. And I kind of like on just online. I just love it. I'm really quite getting into it. So I don't know that I will open a studio here again. I may not. But what I realize is that even though the person doesn't come to my house when they're disruptive, physically, they're disruptive energetically. Now, I know how to walk and understand if I get impacted, what to do about that, right? That's what you know, and we'll be learning more of, because it's important you manage your energy. But what about my house? So here's what I love. And I'm going to shift the camera. Just a minute. I'm going to bring it over, and there you can see I'm showing you. Here is a wooden cutting board as a protection. I have a glass pie tin, but you could use aluminum. You may have done this. This is another form of clearing. I put in rock salt, or in this case, it's organic salt, and then a little bit of alcohol. Now, you know, salt is a really good absorber of negative energy, of transforming negative energy. So I do this like weekly. I might go to each of the different rooms I do, or where I do most of my work in healing. Then what you do, I have this bottle of baking soda. Why? Because if this fire gets a little out of hand, I'm going to have baking soda on hand. I've never had to use it, but I have it on hand. So I create this blessing of clearing and transforming and anchoring back to the qualities of presence. And when I'm ready, I just light the alcohol. I was on a 200-acre oak tree retreat in the early 90s. And it was a private retreat. They had what they called founders, each had their cabin, and they had a group big house. And, you know, it was a lovely, lovely place. But they were going to turn it into a public facility so other individuals could come. There was a cabin of one of the founders who she had died 11 years before. Nobody had been in her cabin. Nobody had messed with her stuff, but we needed to clear it and cleanse it. So that was my job. So I went into the cabin and I did exactly what I did here. I put in the alcohol and I went to light the alcohol and the alcohol would not light. I went, oh, that's interesting. Did another little ceremony and the alcohol would not light 3 times. So I said, okay, something else is going on here. And so I just quieted myself and said, what is it that I need to know? The founding owner showed up, Susan, and said, what are you doing in my house? Why are you messing with my stuff? So I said, okay, this is what the plan is. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to be doing it. This is what's going to happen to your things. This is how the cabin is going to be. I mean, I just brought her in and informed her, shared with her all of that, how we would handle her things and her cabin. And then she said, okay. Got out my lighter, alcohol lit, you know? But I mean, that is only one cleansing. And I just, sometimes we forget that we clear and are in emotionally vulnerable spaces, upsetting spaces, that energetically more regularly, let's bring out that energy into balance too. And I love that salt and soda. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. So before we close, I just want to ask if there's any questions you have, anything you want to clarify, bring forward, just unmute yourself and we'll popcorn style it if there's anything on your mind. Let's do that now.
I'm just curious, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Has a pie pan ever busted or is that possible?
Well, I usually use an aluminum pie tin,
Oh,
but my daughter cleared our house and I don't know where aluminum pie tins in anymore. So I'm just using a Pyrex. And so I was a little concerned about the Pyrex myself.
okay.
So the first time I used the Pyrex, I was like, I don't know. And so far it's done great, but probably I would go for an aluminum pie tin just so I wouldn't have to worry, but it's been fine so far. But if you burn this without some kind of protector, it might melt your carpet. It will, it gets very hot. And so you have something like, another thing would be like a big tile, what's left over from tiling a bathroom floor or something. So, Audrey.
What kind of salt was that again, Sharon?
I usually use rock salt, a coarse rock salt, and sometimes I put a little Himalayan salt in it.
Okay.
Sometimes I might even put a little essential oil in it.
Mm-hmm.
Other times what I do is if I'm working with a client or two that have a really intense thing going on for them, I'll put their name on a piece of paper and put it under the pie tin or
Okay.
glass, so that it's not in the burning itself, but it gets the energy is done in behalf of those individuals too.
Okay, so I might be going out of, I have to close portals tomorrow, and I've never closed portals,
Okay.
so I can't burn anything.
Yeah.
Because it's my daughter's new house.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
would I just call in the PTO team, deep six it?
I would use a guardian circle, bring in the
Okay.
guardian circle to surround her home and surround her property.
Mhm.
And that will bring in healing teams, the PTO teams, and also secure channels to the divine.
Right. Okay.
And then what you do is just call in those who have the ability, because you have the authority, the ability to close portals and clear from the space all that is not of light, for
Right.
example.
Okay.
So you
Thank you.
all that mentally, and then you could, use like if you had the alchemy spray like Arlie, you could, or
Mhm.
aromatherapy as an after. And the other
Right.
thing you can also do is take a regular salt and sprinkle it along the edge of a room or in the corners of a room and let it just be there. And when she vacuums or sweeps, it gets swept away. So any
Okay.
of those things.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions before we leave? So the video from this class will be uploaded, and I'll let you know when it's uploaded onto our website. It's going to be on the same page as the Monday's class. So there'll be the Monday class in 2, and there'll be the Wednesday class in 2. You will have a handout which will talk about your assignments. There will be the reality statement, and I'm not sure the handouts will be on the page so that you can download the handouts. And so what I want to do, if while we get ready to close, is this. We're going to go through the reality shift with your presence. So I will make the claim, and I will say, like, my presence, or I am a presence of, and you either read or think your qualities, and then we'll move on beyond that. So let's take a deep breath. And as we are in sacred ground of sovereignty with our teams here, hearing us, answering us, we are here to declare my presence have the qualities of. I ask that my entire energy field and the energy field of those to whom I'm connected in love are moved into that energetic reality. I call on the tag team and the PTO and SIRS team to deep six anything that is, has, or would keep me from that experience. I ask the causal team, my causal team, and the teams to whom my loved ones are connected to design a program for the highest expression of that choice. I am a presence of these qualities. Download those codes into my first dimensional field. Anchor the program in the 5th dimension of this earth, time, lifetimes landscape. This reality is chosen, designed, created, download, anchored, and activated. And so it is. And I'm going to have you take it one step further, and we're going to go through a Cook's hookup, which is a brain, getting it into the brain. And so you can just watch me if you'd like, but do it with me. So you're going to cross your ankles. You can do it in bed or sitting. I'll try to do this one standing, because you're going to cross your ankles. You're going to roll your hands, and then roll them up under your chin. And just think, I am a presence of these qualities. And then putting your tongue at the roof of your mouth, circle your eyes clockwise 7 times, and then 7 times counterclockwise. When you've done that, move your hands out, stretching at shoulder height. Left brain is in one hand, right hemisphere is the other. But you want those hemispheres to speak to themselves, creating the pathways, letting your arms, and then interlace your fingers symbolically, creating the pathways, those hemispheres speaking to each other. And let that energy move right down the midline of your body, down to Mother Earth, saying, Mother Earth, resource me for that. Put your one hand on your heart, one on your solar plexus. Breathe, anchored, and so it is. Okay, you in tag, you are it. And so I'll let you know as soon as everything's up, get your assignments. And we'll see you next week. Love you guys. So glad you're here. Blessings.
Love you
Bye.
too. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sharon.
hearts and all that. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.